When your Pomeranian wags their tail, do you just smile and assume they are happy? Most owners do. But what if I told you that the direction your Pomeranian's tail moves tells a completely different story depending on which side it swings to? And what if I told you that a wag to the right side of their body is one of the most profound emotional signals a dog can give, a signal that scientists have only recently begun to decode? This is not just a cute quirk. This is your Pomeranian telling you something extraordinary, something most people walk right past without ever realizing what just happened. You see, we have been taught our whole lives that a wagging tail means a happy dog. That is one of those simple truths we absorb as children and never really question again. But the science of canine emotion has evolved dramatically in the last 2 decades, and what researchers have discovered about tail wagging has completely rewritten everything we thought we knew. The truth is that a tail wag is not one signal. It is an entire language, and your Pomeranian is far more fluent in it than you might imagine. Let us start with something that will change the way you watch your Pomeranian forever. In 2007, a team of researchers in Italy led by neuroscientist Giorgio Valortigara published a groundbreaking study that stunned the animal behavior world. They discovered that when dogs feel positive emotions like affection and safety and joy, their tails tend to wag with a distinct bias toward the right side of their body. When they feel negative emotions like anxiety or uncertainty or fear, the tail swings more toward the left. This was not a minor observation. This was a window into the asymmetric nature of the canine brain, and it revealed that dogs process emotions in much the same lateralized way that humans do. Now here is where it gets truly fascinating when it comes to your Pomeranian specifically. Pomeranians are descended from large Arctic sled dogs, the powerful Spitz breeds that once pulled heavy loads across frozen tundra in northern Europe. Over centuries, they were selectively bred down in size, but their brains retained an extraordinary amount of the emotional complexity and social intelligence that their ancestors needed to survive in tight cooperative packs. That means your tiny fluffy companion is running incredibly sophisticated emotional software inside that small adorable head. When they wag their tail to the right upon seeing you walk through the door, they are not just reacting. They are experiencing a neurological event rooted in thousands of years of evolution. The right side bias in tail wagging is controlled by the left hemisphere of the brain, and in both dogs and humans, the left hemisphere is associated with approach behavior, with positive engagement, with the impulse to move towards something that feels safe and rewarding. So when your Pomeranian sees you and their tail sweeps to the right, what is actually happening is that the left side of their brain is lighting up with activation patterns associated with love and trust and the deep desire to be close to you. This is not a metaphor. This is measurable brain activity expressing itself through the body. Think about what that means for a moment. Every single time your Pomeranian greets you at the door and you see that little plume of fur sweeping to the right side of their body, your dog's brain is essentially saying, this person is my safe place. This person is the one I move toward. This person activates the deepest reward centers in my mind. It is a biological declaration of love, and it happens in a fraction of a second before your Pomeranian even consciously decides to run toward you. And this is where the Pomeranian breed becomes especially remarkable. Because of their intense attachment style, what behaviorists sometimes refer to as the Velcro dog phenomenon, Pomeranians form bonds with their primary human that are among the strongest in the entire canine world. Their ancestors survived brutal environments by maintaining extremely tight social bonds within their pack. A dog that wandered off or failed to stay emotionally connected to the group simply did not survive. That survival pressure carved deep neural pathways for attachment, and your Pomeranian has inherited every single one of them. So when they wag to the right for you, it is not casual. It carries the full emotional weight of an ancient bonding system that once meant the difference between life and death. But here is something even more incredible. Researchers discovered that dogs do not just send these asymmetric signals. They also read them in other dogs. A follow-up study showed that when a dog sees another dog wagging to the right, they relax. Their heart rate stays calm. They interpret the signal as friendly and safe. But when they see a left-biased wag, they become anxious. Their heart rate increases. They become vigilant. This means tail wagging direction is not just an involuntary emotional leak. It functions as a genuine communication system between dogs, a silent language of emotional intent that operates below conscious awareness. Now, imagine your Pomeranian in your living room. You come home after a long day. The moment they hear your key in the lock, their ears perk up, their body orients toward the door, and as you step inside, that magnificent tail begins its sweep to the right. In that instant, your Pomeranian is broadcasting on a frequency that every dog in the world would understand. They are saying this person is safe. This person is good. I want to be near this person. And they are saying it with a part of their brain so old and so deep that it predates language and thought, and everything we associate with conscious decision-making. What makes this even more moving is the role of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Studies have shown that when a dog and their owner share a moment of positive connection, when they lock eyes, or when the dog is gently touched, or when they simply sit together in calm companionship, both the dog and the human experience a surge of oxytocin. This creates what scientists call a mutual oxytocin loop, a biochemical feedback cycle, where your love for your dog literally amplifies your dog's love for you, and vice versa. The right tail wag is intimately connected to this loop. It is both a product of the oxytocin surge and a trigger for more of it. When your Pomeranian wags right, and you respond with warmth and attention, you are deepening the chemical bond between you in real time. There is also a layer of vulnerability in this signal that most people never consider. Your Pomeranian is a small dog in a very big world. Everything around them is larger and louder and potentially threatening. For a dog that weighs less than most house cats to wag their tail to the right in your presence is an act of extraordinary trust. They are not guarding. They are not assessing. They are opening up. They are choosing approach over retreat, and they are doing it because something deep in their neurology has classified you as the safest being in their universe. That is not a small thing. That is everything. You might also notice that your Pomeranian does not wag to the right for everyone. Pay attention to this. You may see a more centered or even left-leaning wag when a stranger approaches or when they encounter an unfamiliar dog. That subtle shift in direction is your Pomeranian's emotional compass recalibrating in real time. They are reading the situation, and their body is honestly reflecting what their brain feels. But when they see you, that compass swings decisively to the right every single time. You are their true north. And here is one final detail that might just take your breath away. Puppies do not show this lateralized wagging pattern from birth. It develops over time as the puppy forms attachments and learns who in their world is safe and who is uncertain. That means your Pomeranian's right tail wag for you is not automatic. It was earned. It was built through every gentle touch and every quiet evening together, and every time you came back when they were afraid you would not. Your Pomeranian learned to wag right for you, and that learning is one of the most beautiful forms of trust in the animal kingdom. So the next time you see that fluffy tail sweeping to the right, do not just smile and move on. Stop for a moment. Recognize what is really happening. Your Pomeranian is telling you, with their entire body and their ancient brain and their evolutionary heritage, that you are their person. That right tail wag is not just movement. It is a love letter written in the oldest language on earth. And your Pomeranian has been sending it to you every single day, hoping that maybe one day you would finally understand what it means. Now you do.